La la la. Hi. One second. Let's center myself a little better. Hi. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm BoredGamer. We're doing a live stream. Let's have a bit of a chat. The screen's not super. Feels like I need to fix that, otherwise it's going to annoy me. I mean, I'm pretty chill. Look at that. That's bad. I gotta fiddle with the settings. What can I fiddle with here? Turn the gain down. Oh no, that makes it worse. Turn the gain up. There we go. No, that makes a hole in my head appear. What about white balance? Okay. Can we balance the hole in the head? What contrast? No, oh, no. I'll see if that alone. Brightness. What do I do? Do anything? Not really. Might just have to. Oh no. We be better at streaming. No, we're just gonna. I think we're just gonna have to deal with a slightly fuzzy background today because I'm dumb. I don't have to rekey my stuff. Oh, yeah. No. Oh, the hole in the head. Can we? Oh, that's probably fine, right? There's an occasional. Look, I've got a shiny head. I just think it's an issue that a lot of people of my stature have to deal with. Got a shiny bald head, okay? I'm short, shiny bald. Hello. Hope everyone is doing well. There's a bit of a madness rant for you at the beginning of a stream. I'm BoredGamer. I want to talk about Titan Suits and Alpha 4.0 and CitizenCon and 3.24.1 and all the numbers. So I hope you are all okay. If you'd like to ask a question during the stream, then please ask away. Type question in front in the question in front in the comments in the chat. I don't know where Chris Roberts' head is actually. He's probably getting ready for CitizenCon. That makes sense, right? Yeah. What's this? What's it? What? Don't know what that's doing there. I don't know what that is. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think the idea is that if for some reason I leave the stream, I can just leave that there. There's the Chris Roberts head. It's behind. It was there all along. There he is. Don't you worry about that. If we can get a little power loader made for the stream as well. So, hope everyone was doing well. Surprise Atlas Argo Atlas suits. Right, let's bring these up on screen. Let's talk about this to start with. I think that's probably a reasonably good idea. Will that go? Oh, it will, huh? Bad. So we've got these bad boys. They turned up in the 3.24.1 PTU build, which is currently open to all waves on the PTU, and the patch there fixes a ton of the problems that people were having with 3.24 live build. And so hopefully they'll get that out ASAP. It also went, have these in your hangars. Evocati were the only people that could spawn them to start with, but now anyone that's participating in that patch can spawn them. Spawn them just from your, like you would a ship. I actually think they'd probably be better spawned in cargo elevators, but we'll probably get that functionality in the future with little vehicles as well. I think that's the idea. But yeah, I was kind of impressed with them to an extent. So they are glorified tractor beams. They're tractor beams with some more functionality, like they properly grab stuff and you can sort of throw it around. You can't grab with your handy hands. It's not a forklift. It's a grab lift. So sort of bear that in mind. Now, the podcast that will go out later today, well, basically, Zin and I have talked, and I think we've sort of both agreed that actually, for the functionality that Star Citizen wants, it is better with magic beams. Like a lot of the systems, like salvaging, repair, and all that sort of stuff, magic beam as a main part of that function is a good idea. You can have expanded other content and stuff there as well. So you can have lots of other things which are, well, also there's some physicality at moving stuff. Oh, you can change components out. There's lots of other stuff to do. But as part of the main moving and the main harvesting and stuff, magic beams work. And they might make that sort of those features more, add more to them later, or give them more nuance later. But I'm okay with these Atlas Titan suits. So they are called, this mech that we're looking at, a Argo ATLS. I'm assuming that is all-terrain loading system or automatic terrain loading system, but almost certainly all-terrain because it's a walker. And I assume if there's a combat version, that it would be a ATBS, all-terrain battle system. Because the sort of it's sci-fi trope mixed with it's a Titan suit. It's Atlas is a Titan. I'm sort of interested to know what other people think of these. Like they are very powerful tractor beams, effectively, but they're more powerful because of the nerfs they made to tractor beams. So these can carry 24 and 32 SUs. They can move small ships. When are they going to come out as well? We have no idea, right? Like, is it just going to be immediately available with this patch? Is the patch going to go live later this week? Is there going to be a sale? Are they holding on to CitizenCon? Are they holding on to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo? I mean, it makes sense that they would wanted to release this with the 3.24 patch full stop because it's Cargo Empires. So maybe there's a combat variant they've already got and they're going to be releasing that at CitizenCon. I mean, this is all speculation, right? 1 second. Bear with me. Someone says Dark Law on the stream as well. I often raid Dark Law. He's a good chap. He was the last person I raided. Crafting. So yeah, any questions you got? Question in brackets. Chuck them on screen, and I will try and get to them. Back on that. How's it going? Good, thank you. So obviously loads of stuff they've got planned for CitizenCon. Potentially, as I said, maybe there's combat models, maybe there's loads of other stuff to show off. Typically, they give us less as they're building up to CitizenCon, but this year there's loads going on, which is nice. I do think Star Citizen is still effectively in a lull period, with a lot of players waiting for 4.0 now. Even though 3.24 potentially has got a lot of cool stuff going on with it, it has there's a lot of problems with 3.24 that meant a huge portion of the player base couldn't play and can't play still. 3.24.1 does appear to fix a lot of this stuff, but it's not on live yet. Crafting. Do you expect players to be able to make higher quality products based on the grade of material used, i.e. iron from a certain planet on Pyro? So I suspect there will be different qualities and grades of gear to a degree, but maybe it's just better gear you can create with better stuff rather than building it and going, it's actually turned out to be this kind of quality. We do know that there's supposed to be like item and component tweaking. That's one of the things that the Endeavour was supposed to do, with a sort of particle accelerator. So we'll have to see. Like, I suspect those gameplay mechanics have changed somewhat. In the first instance, just expect crafting to have stages of stuff based on the materials you put into it. So you can build these items and this whatever, and probably not different grades within that same bracket. Boop. I'm also looking forward to Space Cows. Hello. Thank you very much for all the kind words. That's generally appreciated. I'm absolutely shattered. I'm eating, the last week, I've been eating one meal a day. Sort of affected my sleep slightly. It's sort of, when I start dieting properly, I like to sort of shrink my stomach, so either eat very little or nothing, or I'm trying one meal a day at the moment. Potentially today I'll do very small meals. Hello. In my opinion, CIG is stepping on their own feet far too often. Since my own issues with the help desk, I've been paying attention. They would earn a whole lot more money if they pulled head out of their ass, in my opinion. So, there are certainly going to be issues with sort of all companies and their customer support and sales and stuff like that. I've only had good experiences personally with customer support, but maybe I'm getting treated well. Obviously, a lot of that's been concierge as well. Now, Samayeti, I know they have mistreated you there, definitely, from what you told me anyway. So hopefully they sort that out at some point. And more generally, I would always hope that they can always do better, right? Even if it's only a few people that fall through the cracks, and I suspect there's more than a few. That they need to be they need to minimize that as much as possible, and sort out the people that have issues. You were treated not appropriately, as far as I'm aware, anyway. Always put that prefix or suffix there, because I don't know 100% right. So I do trust you quite a lot. Hence why you're a mod. When do you think we're getting the Atlas? It's hard to say. So, it could be literally go on sale with 3.24.1. So potentially end of this week sort of thing. That is a strong possibility. Zin wants them just to be free with each hangar. Every hangar get one, which I love the idea of. I mean, that would make people very happy. I challenge you to a foot race in the new Atlas suits. Oh my god. They're quite slow. They're surprisingly slow. I want them to be able to run. Are you winning, son? So, father, I've been, covering Star Citizen for almost a decade. It's not about winning. It's about the journey of getting there. So, no, I'm not winning. I would personally love to hear about the dual 800 person shards. Did that test ever happen? So, as far I did not participate in the server meshing tests, the most recent ones. I was busy, unfortunately. I know they were trying to do 800 to 1,000 play shards. I think they ran into some issues with some bits, and I suspect that those tests will go. There'll be more tests this week, sort of thing. I might be a little manic because I haven't had much sleep, so apologies. Who do we need to bribe to get a team working on the old ships and getting them up to standard, like the Carrack and Reclaimer? I expect a lot of them are getting worked on. They're bringing them up to gold standard. Like the Reclaimer, for example, is used in Squadron 42. But those ships should be being brought up to a better standard, at least for 4.0, for engineering and stuff like that. So obviously we want them working with the cargo systems as well. Looking good board. I'm excited to dive for CitizenCon. I've lost some weight, actually, because of the 1 meal a day, for sure, and a reasonable amount of exercise. I appreciate it. I'm pretty excited for CitizenCon. I'm a little nervous about it because I won't be able to cover it live. So CitizenCon, getting videos out as stuff's happening, gets me loads and loads and loads of views. I'm not going to be able to do that as well this year because I'm going to be attending the event, so it sort of all have to be done afterwards, and I'm going to be shattered. So really looking forward to it. Think it's going to be great. Yeah, should be a lot of hype around Star Citizen. They're going to, hopefully it'll be Squadron 42 release date. Hopefully it'll be a load of road to Star Citizen 1.0, loads of new features, loads of cool ships, loads of just a fantastic experience meeting people. Eventually, Squadron 42 celebrities. When do you think they will start hyping up Polaris for release sales? So the road to the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. So November. But they might show some bits off in CitizenCon, but it's end of November is when you're going to see it. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, you can throw the 32 SCU boxes with the Atlas. Oh, so you can operate the terminal while you're in the Atlas. I didn't know that. Oh, that's cool if you can. What do you think the likelihood is that 4.0 will come out by the end of the year? I'm 75% sure. That's my expectation, that it will come out by the end of the year. Now, will it be live by the end of the year? So I expect open PT by the end of the year, 75% sure. Unfortunately, the Atlas, the one we've got at the moment, is not the combat variant. It's very much a civilian variant. Doesn't right mouse button just lob stuff? Or have they changed it in the latest, in the different build? Or in others, what do you think about this vehicle as a platform? As in combat model exploration, etc. They haven't done anything that allows you to keep control while you pilot. What do you mean exactly? Sorry, I'm confused by that question. I still can't sell my cargo ship, repair my can. Is that 3.24 or 3.24.1? Assuming that's just 3.24. Do you consider cereal to be a soup? Everything is soup. At high level, the universe is effectively soup. So yes. I'm having a better time through the Pack 4 crash. Still happens, but I do get to finish a UPS run every so often. Hi, Bod. Do you think why CIG working on RSI ships, they will fix older ships like the Condor? Yes. So they're going to have to bring everything up to gold standard and expect some ships to get a few little tweaks as well. I try reading Atomic Habits. Helps with the systems of changing your habits rather than the right knottle willpower. So it's a mixture of the two, right? Sort of getting yourself in the right headspace, sort of routine and stuff like that. But I've done some habit changing stuff before. Yeah, I'll check it out. I've not read Atomic Habits. Do you think server meshing will be the key blocker to a lot of future gameplay additions? Well, yes, but it's not a silver bullet. So 4.0's giant gateway to more Star Citizen gameplay, but just the plodding of time is as well. But it is a huge amount of potential content that can then come through after that. It's 4.0 and Squadron 42 are the biggest sort of choke points, as it were, bottlenecks for Star Citizen content. Is the medbay and cargo in the Carrack working through 3.1? I've not tested it, but it's not going to have the full cargo experience in the Carrack yet. As far as I'm aware, I have not tried. Do you think the Iron gets buffed anytime soon? Because it's underperforming. It will get balanced at some point. I mean, they're always, any patch could potentially see tweaks, buffs, and debuffs to any ship, basically, right? But not specifically. But like, could basically get some good buffing in 3.24. So 4.0. When do you think beta test will start? Are content creators talking about live like it's around the corner, and it seems to ignore the fact Chris Roberts said there'll be a beta at last CitizenCon. So it could be that 1.0 is a beta, or it could be that the PTU for 1.0 is considered a beta, quite genuinely. And I think you could see a Star Citizen 1.0 minimum viable product for 1.0, based on what that is, by the end of 2026. That's my optimistic stuff, but it's loads of stuff and exactly what you consider an MVP. But yeah, so server meshing 4.0, yeah, but big. I do think that allows for Baron Hunting version 2, improved AI. The Spaceman isn't really gated by, but it will come pretty soon after it, I think. So yeah, obviously a lot of master mode stuff at the moment being talked about again, with basically Yoga Cat reiterating they feel that the direction of master modes is the correct one to go. They're quite happy with the way it's going, but it's not there yet by any means. I'm very much in the opinion of I want the discussion to continue with everyone being involved. I want the thing is they've taken an evolved nuance model, had lots of stuff going on with it, and just remade and chucked in a new model which is pretty basic and has no interest or nuance or depth to it. And I know those are sort of quite generalistic words, but I do think they're relatively accurate to explain the situation at the moment. Like I think that master modes can be good for the combat experience, for the flight experience, with additional detail, nuance, evolution, iteration. Because at the moment we don't have much iteration because they haven't had that much time to iterate on it. They've just gone new model. That's the way I see it anyway. Any updates on the server meshing test? None at the moment. Probably hear some more about it later today. They'll probably go, there's going to be another one later this week. Do you expect the commercial release of Squadron 42 to bring many /some/none new players to Star Citizen? Loads. It's it will represent Star Citizen starting to be seen as a viable game. It will make it significantly more mainstream. People will not be able to go, that scam game. They'll go, oh, Squadron 42. Oh, it's real. Cool. And if it's a good game, it proves CIG can make a good or great game. Really, it needs to be a great game. We're talking 9 out of 10 sort of thing, really is what CIG need to hit with Squadron. Because then it sort of goes, oh, they were right to take all the time to make a great game in a world of terrible games. It's not always terrible. Question, friends piggybacking the Atlas while firing FS9s. I don't know the extent of what you'll be able to do in the Atlas, but I'm hoping to get some combat versions. Do you expect Squadron 42 Episode 2 release to coincide with Star Citizen Version 1? No. Separate things. They originally had said Episode 2 would come out around 2 years after Episode 1. I think they'll take a tiny little break and then start working on Episode 2. But they need significantly less resources working on Episode 2 than they did Episode 1, because the engine's already there and a huge amount of the content's there. A lot more people can be working on the Persistent Universe or stuff that is dual related. I'm doing fine, thank you. A little bit manic today. Been trying out a new diet. Didn't sleep very well, so I won't be streaming for too long. Do we know when the Atlas will go on sale or on the Persistent Universe? No. So I'm expecting the 3.24.1 patch to be released later this week because of the amount of hot fixes and improvements that it's got in it. But it makes 3.24 significantly better. Just it fixes a ton of stuff. Will that hold true when it goes to live? We'll have to wait and see, because some of the stuff that we're having problems with could be server, database, back-end related, that only becomes apparent at live or is being caused by being put onto live effectively. So we'll have to wait and see. We could see a Titan suit Atlas sale at the end of this week as well, or it might be something they hold back for CitizenCon. As far as I was aware, with the server meshing tests, they ran into problems, and they'll be doing it again this week, as far as I'm aware. Didn't CIG say that a great pilot in Aurora should be able to win against an unskilled pilot in a fighter? Does Master Modes break this design ideal? Not necessarily, no. What Master Modes is intended to prevent is, although does it do it at the moment? Tended to prevent is a single dogfighter beating multiple, reasonable amount, a group of significantly less skilled pilots or less skilled pilots. Right, so you've got a pilot shouldn't be able to take out 6 other fighters that are all engaging him simultaneously. You might be able to evade them and run. If they come at him kung fu style, one by one, cool. Probably be able to take them on as well. But he shouldn't be able to, them all fighting him simultaneously. She should not be able to go, I can avoid all your fire by tricording and sort of staying outside of your fire zone, moving better than you, in a way that you don't understand, to just outrange you or avoid your fire while it hit you. Yeah? So that's what they want to do. They want to slow stuff down. They want it to be closer. And they want military cruise ships to be very powerful. At the moment, military cruise ships aren't very powerful. So a lot of the stuff needs work and then balance. But that's the intention, as far as I'm aware. But a great pilot in an Aurora will certainly beat a terrible pilot in any ship. In any fighter. It'd be interesting to see like levels of mitigation, like can size 1 weapons actually damage certain larger ships? Maybe because they're shield regen, maybe because of their mitigation or whatever. they've already delayed the server machine test twice, so it might not even happen this week. Yeah, I mean, that's also possible. They might even run into more issues. It might not be ready yet. I'm hoping that they don't run loads of these tests, and even when they a build fails or they run into problems, that is progress. I know it's sort of annoying and like, well, how can that be progress? Well, it's progress because then they need to get back and fix the build, and they wouldn't necessarily know that until they try to run it. I mean, noob pilots are going to be, if you don't understand how to fly at all, you're going to be at a disadvantage flying against anyone that does, right? Probably not the best idea to engage in PvP at that stage. Because you might not be willing to. I think there's going to be safer areas in game. Like, there's going to be very much PvP areas, PvE areas. I'm almost sure of that. It's not going to be. I mean, they say PvP could happen anywhere. I don't think they really mean that. Like, in the same way it can happen in Eve anywhere, right? Can happen. Very unlikely to. And if it does, you'll probably be relatively well protected. I want a medical bed in my Corsair. I don't want to have to tote around a Nurser and lose cargo space. Expedition ships should have medical beds. By me, I agree with you with the Corsair, very much so. Like expedition ships, exploration ships should have a medical bed, even if it's very basic. Could just be a tier 3 bed. Corsair doesn't have a medical facility at all. Flight models never the issue. It's CIG's lack of balancing weapons. Well, that's going to be coming later. But I mean, you could certainly argue as well at the moment that the expanded flight model and nuance to that's coming later as well. It's both for me. Like it's a load of stuff. But I think it's just important to have the conversation and have people's get their voice into the melting pot and keep on talking as the systems are being iterated on and evolve and expand. And I probably won't listen to the people decrying, this is the end of Star Citizen. They've been saying that different people have been saying that for like a decade already, for different reasons. The flight model, I think this is the third time it's been decreed that it's going to make the game collapse, or it has collapsed. And I don't believe that. But I do believe that there is obviously the potential for the flight model direction that they've gone for at the moment to be balanced poorly and to be terrible if they do it wrong. Yes, and that's why you want that conversation. That's why you want. But I do trust that it will be in a good place eventually. I genuinely do. Maybe that's a naive thing of me that puts me on a different bias. Do you think the new Atlas tractor mechanic is a test bed for reworking tractor beams overall? Maybe. It depends on how CIG see it working. I think they're all okay with the old tractor beams. I think they might just have two types of tractor beam, right? It is much more user friendly. I totally agree. I really like the Atlas tractor beam. Do you think that after the release of Squadron 42 this year, maybe next year CIG will take on Star Citizen with full force? I mean, they're kind of moving on with Star Citizen with a lot of force now, right? That's a huge amount of momentum. They're bringing that Squadron 42 stuff over. I do think they're going to be taking a little break after episode 1, focus on Star Citizen, and then not waiting too long for episode 2 to start working on it. That said, it's going to be a lot of mocap and stuff like that. Cinematics and mocap are going to be a huge part of it compared to what they were in 1, because that's a proportion of the work required compared to 1, because a huge amount of Star Citizen and Squadron 42 is then there already, right? With the release of 1.0, with the release of Squadron 42 episode 1. Do you think after the release of what we just talked about, Myst Odyssey when? Might hear more about it later this year, but I haven't been talking about it. I've not talked about it for ages. No, I like the CIG devs, like YogiClan, whatever, just getting involved in the conversation and talking about it, because that opens up conversation avenues, right? I mean, it might annoy people. People might go, "Oh, do you even play your game?" Stuff like that. But that at least gives them opportunities to address and talk about that stuff. Like, well, yeah, but this is the way we see it, and it might be hugely different to the way certain players see it, but not all players. And like, obviously there are people that are really skilled pilots, people that love the old flight model, people that are PvPers, people that are PvEers, people that are going to be flying loads of different types of ship. So many players with so many different points of view, all with entirely different ideas, or potentially different ideas of where the game is going and where the flight model is going and what the ideal game is. Do we know how big the Polaris front chin turret will be? So I know they've made some of the weapons bigger, so I'm not 100% sure at the moment, but I'm not sure if they've actually confirmed as well. Just proof that Avenger One has no clue about astrophysics. In reality, all you would need to increase the speed is continued thrust binding. Don't really care about that. I care about, is it fun? Is it competitive? Is it interesting? Right? So I'm not interested about it being physically accurate. I want a level. I want some of that in there. I want some interest there. But it's a game. I just want it to be. I want it to be fun. That's it. I want it to be fun. I upgraded my pledge from a Cutlass Black to a Zeus CL, the cargo one. Do you know if it has a tractor beam? I believe it does, but I don't know. I expect it to. Yes, guys, we love you. Can you forgive my absence? I've been having health issues and I've neglected my mod duties. You've neglected nothing. You don't have any mod duties. None of the mods do. You do not have a duty. I appreciate your commitment and absolute privilege for me to have you there. So thank you very much. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. As long as it doesn't involve money or actually doing anything. No. Seriously, if you need help, please let me know. If it's within my power and within my time, I will help, obviously. I genuinely appreciate the amount of time that all the mods have put in. And especially on the back end of a load of stuff. Huntress has done tons of stuff for me for like setting up the Discord and stuff and maintaining it. So genuinely appreciated. And organising me for like podcasts and stuff ages ago. Or I say ages ago, not too long ago. Carrick still needs pilot guns to be valid. Do you think this will ever happen? It might. Like, there's a lot of stuff they could do with blades and stuff like AI blades going, well, actually, we'll allow you to have all of this connected to the pilot's seat for gunning, but it takes up your AI blade slots. I'm hoping to see anyone that's in the chat that's coming to CitizenCon this year. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you there. I'll be working out some stuff and plans some stuff in the CitizenCon channel, on the questions channel on my Discord. I'm also starting to be gathering questions for CitizenCon. But devs that we say there. See there. I'd be a terrible game director. I'd be very good second in command, though. I want someone else's structure and idea, and I'll go run around and implement it. When I say implement it, I'll go around and get other people to implement it, but I'll know who to talk to. When do you expect us to see Vandal that we can battle in the persistent universe? That is a really good question. Squadron 42's release, around that time. That is when almost certainly they'll start to appear in Star Citizen, in the persistent universe. I wish they would extend time to kill. Me too. Especially with larger ships, but yes, in general, time to kill is a great idea for them to expand out. I mean, it goes with the FPS as well, right? Ships and FPS. Keep up the good work. I can't promise that. Well, I mean, keep up the work that I've been doing. Yeah, no worries. So, CitizenCon is on the 19th and 20th of October. Didn't mean to say this week if I did. I'm going to start gathering questions for CitizenCon stuff this week and planning stuff out for CitizenCon on the Discord starting this week. So, organising stuff like that. Now, we're still seeing ladders and elevators dropping players through the ground. This has been persistent in many patches. Do you think it's still acceptable? Do I think it's still acceptable? Oh. Not really. I mean, it's not great, is it? But I do think a lot of it, that sort of stuff, the server not tracking where the elevator boundaries are properly, which I believe is what it is, and glitching through and clipping through or whatever, I do believe it will be solved in 4.0. Is it acceptable? I mean, what do you mean acceptable? It's an alpha, so yes, it's acceptable. It's not great. I would have expected it to have been solved. But again, some of that stuff can't be solved or has been solved for 4.0. Probably the only YouTube channel I listen to every day, no matter how busy. Well done on keeping us up to date. No worries at all. Thank you very much for watching. Genuinely appreciate it. I sort of try to give stuff relatively basic with added context so that new people and veterans can watch and sort of follow along. My channel might not necessarily be appropriate for people that play Star Citizen at a really high level constantly every day, but maybe it will be. Some of the stuff will be, still like a dumb radio host you can listen to. I appreciate all the kind words. Thank you. Question: do you think we will get the Atlas when 3.24.1 goes to live? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. It makes sense that the Atlas should have been part of 3.24, though, right? It's cargo empires. It is a great cargo thing. And if it does, then it suggests to me that maybe there's a combat variant ready for CitizenCon. Maybe. But, or something they'll show off at CitizenCon. I think we'll have to wait and see. But it's a strong possibility that it will be released with 3.24.1. I think Chris Roberts' daughter will still give him grief. Yes, I think that's just a problem with being a father and having children. Any guess on when they might update older ships that function but no longer fit current metrics, like the Freelancer? So I think you're going to see a reasonable amount of updates to ships in 4.0. We do need to start bringing them all up to gold standard. And I believe that's what they have been doing as part of engineering. Is there gameplay that is not expected but you would love to be added? Fishing! I mean, I like some of the dumb industry stuff. Anything that's core PPVE with a relative difficulty level I like. So, I mean, I like the idea of contested zones. I don't like the idea of the PvP element of it, personally. How much have you spent on ships personally? About $3,500 just for me. I mean, not that. $350 a year. Ha. I've not spent very much in the last 3 years, though. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to bio, and then we'll go through any other questions, and then we'll wrap up. Bear with me. Getting to see behind the wizard's curtain. Oh, that's. Oh, just need to focus on my head to be less grainy. Oh, I just needed to be closer. I'm terrible at streaming. I apologize. My content has been lackluster for the last decade, and I just like to do nice, chill, easy content. That's what it is. I'm just lazy, but you watch it. So what does that say about you? No, no, it's genuinely appreciated. Thank you very much for supporting the channel for ages and asking questions during the stream. Genuinely appreciated. Any guess on when they might update older ships? That's what we talked about earlier. PG is the best content. Appreciated. I am wearing pajamas. That's what I do. I've got my own house. I wander around in pajamas. I spend about an hour a day just wandering around my house, just looking around at stuff. I think it's because the house is still relatively new, right? Blackloft is what we're here for. Perfect. I have lost a lot of weight, admittedly. But I need to keep it off. It's going to be mostly water at the moment. Do some exercise. It's all good. Yeah, we're doing all right now. Do you think we need immersive elements like radio chatter when approaching stations? Easy to do. I want radio stations. I want immersive elements like that. I want lots of stuff like that. Yes. Background radio, but also there's a load of content they can generate. Like, will they use AI much, if at all, in Star Citizen, as in for content generation? It'll be interesting to see. Thoughts on ETA for armor and gun racks? I think you're going to be getting a lot of stuff by 4.0. Do you ever get frustrated with the game? Yes, all the time. Rage quit? Yes. Yeah. I mean, when I'm recording. One of the reasons I employ Zin is so that she can get a recording of footage for me. And when I'm not doing that. I can't. And a PTU build where something's broken and they're just trying to get something just for a video quick. Oh. Sometimes Star Citizen doesn't want you to do stuff. So I love Star Citizen. I love sort of. I will try and jump into all the dynamic events that I can, things like that. I'm not a huge fan of Jump Town, but I love Xenothreat. I love stuff around Crusader. I'm looking forward to the working sort of the blockade runner stuff. I have played it. It does work, but I haven't done a full playthrough of it. But yeah, there's a load of cool dynamic events. I'll work out what's my favourite. I do like Xenothreat. I like the fleet battle. I do like stuff on Crusader, but some people just blow up all the ships very early on. If that stuff breaks or someone runs off and does all the stuff, you can sort of like be running around platforms being like, ugh. Question: what's the longest you've played without a game-breaking bug? maybe like 12 hours, maybe, like as a single session. I played a 12-hour session before without game breaking bug. And do you think we'll get personal refineries? Think expanse before or after tier 0 base building? At some point, yes. I mean, expect to have uh, fabricators for and crafting stuff, refineries, extractors, loads of things like that. 100%. In my opinion, NPCs should behave as much like players as possible. Yeah, and you potentially should be able to not necessarily know who an AI versus a player is unless you scan them. Do you miss Levski? How far from? I think they're going to show Nyx at CitizenCon. You do a 12-hour plus trucking session. Some people love that, right? Like Zin does Euro Truck Simulator and Train Simulator stuff. He's enjoyed that. But yeah, how do you manage your frustration with Star Citizen? I just come back to it a bit later. That's literally it. Like later in the same day, I can, and I get frustrated with loads of stuff. Like anything like this is unfair, or if there's cheaters involved, or when something crashes. Again, that'd be unfair in my head. If it stressed me out too much, I go, I'm rage quitting this for a little while. Go and have a little snack or a drink, watch a video, then go back at it. Quick break, go back. Yeah. So it's likely we're going to get. So we've got Stanton at the moment. We get Pyro, get Nyx, get Odin, because Odin's Squadron 42 system. Gonzalo, come on the CAC. Best ship in the game. Would be lovely to see it work with cargo. It doesn't feel like it's coming anytime soon. It might work with 4.0. I don't know all the priorities list, to be honest. It hasn't already been asked. What do you think of giving all vehicles a toggle to the new type of tractor beam? So I think that would work really well with vehicle tractors. That just all vehicle tractors being like the Atlas. Yeah. In your opinion, what's the single feature that you think will take this game to the next level? I mean, it's everything coming together, like dynamic economy stuff, but everything coming together is the thing that the game needs. I mean, it's an MMO where the economy, base building. I mean, there's I don't think it's just one. Do we think that we will hear more progress on bigger ships with the release of Pro System, considering travel is larger? Yeah. I mean, because the smaller ships are not going to be as viable, right? You're going to hear loads of stuff at CitizenCon. Right. We better get 5 systems before 1.0. I think, to me, 5 systems is probably the minimum they would release for 1.0. That's got the bare minimum, the MVP. So, I think you might be right with that. Are you worried at all that Squadron 42 will be mediocre, or the hype will hurt it? Yeah. I mean, so the thing is I'm worried that it will just be good. Okay, it needs to be great to justify the amount of time and delays and redirection and the money and everything. Right? It needs to be great. So yeah, if it was mediocre, they'd be like, ugh, because a lot of people would be disenfranchised with Star Citizen in general, right? It would hurt Star Citizen significantly. But if it is a great game, then it massively proves that Star Citizen will be a thing, and it makes it hugely more mainstream. It's a not catch-22. It's a let's see what happens. Hopefully, it's going to be a great game. It looks like it's going to be great. With CIG aiming to increase the server population, or at least the shard population. Oh, it's actually both, no, you're right. Will we be getting a player search function? Don't fancy looking through 100, but yes. Expect loads of org features, player finding features, and putting in the right server feature. Yes, lots of stuff like that. I take 3. Terra, Stanton, Nyx. Oh, sorry, Pyro. I see what you mean. I think we'll have. I suppose actually what I mean is 4 rather than 5, but I do think there will be 5. Can't wait for a Titan suit to do the 3 cargo missions that actually work. They're expanding out hauling as well, so they're very useful for hauling. Will we see more chatter from the AI? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we see that from dogfighting. I hope that we see that from FPS. Do you think they'll be tempted to drag characters from Squadron 42 into the main verse? To a small degree, probably not individual characters that you'd meet on the ship, but I suspect they'll be on view screens. I suspect they'll be part of other media. They might not exist in the same way in verse, but they might. They might keep them for special events and things as well. Yeah, I'm hoping that they get a working, solid server meshing test with 800 to 1,000 players later this week. What star system will be released on 4.0? Pyro. Stanton and Pyro will have, and jump points between them. Tons of other content as well. Oh, I'd love Sol. Obviously, Sol would be great just because it's our star system. Yeah, as far as popular reception for Star System 1.0, I feel that stability and optimization is the most important thing. Yeah. Well, yes, it is the most important thing. Because it doesn't matter how good any other features are, if you haven't got that, what's the point? Right. I think we're done. I am going to really hungry. I'm going to get the podcast out after this. Check on Zin. Get some stuff planned because I haven't released the Squadron 42 progress report yet. I can't remember reading it either. I did read it, but I can't remember reading it, so I need to read it again. Make some notes on it. I think it's gonna have all the AI stuff in as well this time. You start planning some CitizenCon stuff because I want to start gathering questions and then making those questions as concise and all-encompassing as possible, and then ask appropriate devs around that. Hopefully we'll get an office tour as well while we're there. Really looking forward to it. I'm interested to know what people think about the Titan suits though, but I'll keep on asking that in some videos. It was a big surprise, and hopefully they'll be released as part of 3.24.1. Like probably sale on this weekend. Zin's hoping that they go straight, just everyone gets them straight into the hangars. Bam! That'd be amazing. That'd be awesome if you get one with your hangars. But we'll see. We'll see. Thank you very much for watching. You have a great time. Thank you very much for all the support, all the views, all the questions. It genuinely helps the channel. If you want to go further to support the channel, then check out the links below. Become a subscribe, like, share, become a member of the channel with the join button. Become a Patreon, anything like that helps so much. Thank you so much. You have a great day. I'll see you soon. One second. I'll pass you on to someone else on the Twitches. Let's see who else is around. I will send you over to the super of them. They're good chaps. /Ray Boop. Perfect. Thank you so much for watching. You guys take care, and I will see you soon. Do Titan suits mean xenomorphs? Maybe. Interesting, eh?